Okay, I'll be doing many more videos on how to repair appliances. So subscribe. Hit the like button if you like the videos. And comment good or bad. Also, if I use a part to repair the appliances, I'll put a link in the description so you can buy from this channel. Let's get started. Okay, here's the history of this dryer. I sold a dryer to a guy. This is his dryer. I gave him $25 for it. He bought one for me, so I knocked $25 off the price that I sold it for him for. This is how he gave it to me. Actually, it didn't have the back on it, but I put the back on. So he said the motor's bad. So that's the long story short. Now I'm gonna move all this stuff out the way so I can get started on it and take it part by part and hopefully get it back together. The motor does work, so I tested it and it does work, so it's not a motor problem. And as you can see, I'm here putting everything to the side to get this project going. Have stuff that was sitting on the inside. That's the top right there bracket that the control board sits on. I'm gonna pull that drum out. We're gonna get this thing going, man. I love challenges, man, and this is a challenge. Slide that drum on out. Take a peek and look at on the inside what's going on with it. Okay, we're gonna get a little inside on it. This is a decent dryer right here. I've seen lint covered. This dryer is in good shape on the inside, so it hasn't been abused. It looks like it can't be that old because there's not a lot of lint in it. There's a problem right there. The idler pulley is not spinning. That thing's supposed to spin free, so that's definitely a problem there to check out. So probably gonna have to vacuum it do a little vacuuming, but I've seen a lot worse. So actually it's really not in that bad a shape. Okay, yeah, definitely the idler pulley has to be replaced, and the rollers are great. They're spinning really well, so nothing wrong with that, but the idler pulley definitely has to go. So we definitely got to replace the idler pulley. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna vacuum up here. I have a rigid vacuum cleaner. This thing sucks really well, so I'm gonna vacuum, and I'll put the rigid link in the description. I've had two. One went out, but I dogged it out, and I had it for 5 or 6 years. So I'm on my second one. It's doing a great job, and I definitely would recommend rigid vacuum. They do a good wet dry vac. So I'll put the link in the description for that. Okay, now we're gonna remove the idler pulley. So I got a socket set and take the mounting screw off. So I screw with my hand. And it has a little it has a little spring you have to remove, and the whole pulley just slips off just like that. Okay, now we're gonna put the new pulley on now. Set it up, make sure the screw goes into the hole, and the key here is make sure it's still mobile, and make sure the screw is tight. If it's tight and the idler pulley is not moving, then it's not right. You gotta line it right where the screw is tight and you still have a lot of play, up and down play on the idler pulley. So make sure the screw is mounted good and you have the play where it goes up and down. It shouldn't be tight at all. The screw should be tight. So if it's tight, If the screw is tight and the idler pulley is tight, then something's wrong. You got to screw it in and mount it right in there. Now, I'm attempting to put the front spring, the tensioner spring. This is what puts the tension on the dryer drum, that spring. So that's put on the front of the idler pulley. It has a little hole on the front of the pulley that the spring goes on to, and there you go. There you go, you play right there. That's perfect right there. Now we'll slide the drum back in with the belt on there. Slide it into place. And here you're gonna grab the belt, and you're gonna wrap the belt underneath the idler pulley, the white part, and around the motor pulley. Underneath the idler pulley and wrap it around the motor pulley. Okay, I cleaned out the housing, blower housing, and I'm taking it off now. And that was just the bottom of that. Look at all that debris inside that. So now it's all cleaned out, as you can see. That's the buildup of years worth of lint inside that's cleaned out too. That's the blower housing. That's where the lint filter goes right there. So it's all cleaned out now. Now I'm putting the bulkhead back on. Just slide it on. It has four. What you have to do is you have to lift the drum up, and the rollers at the bottom slides underneath the drum. Make sure it's underneath the drum, or it won't fit right. So that's the key to putting on the bulkhead. Make sure the rollers on the bulkhead slide underneath the drum. And you have 4 screws, 1/4-inch screws that mount the bulkhead to the body of the dryer. And one thing I want to do, apologize. Yesterday I was doing voiceovers and I had a cold and I was sniffling that first half of the video. I apologize. I'm doing better today. Okay, now the bulkhead is on. You had a 1/4-inch screws that mounted that. Now we're putting on the lint filter duct and the blower housing, which covers both the blower housing and the lint filter. And there's 4 1/4-inch screws that mount this on to the bulkhead. And you just slide it up and mount the 4 screws. You'll see the screws, the holes for the screws that mount it up there. And I'm using an electric screwdriver with the bit, which is a 1/4-inch bit. And I'm showing you there where they are. And real simple. Just screw them in and mount it into place. Okay, now we're going to put the control board bracket on. If I'm correct, they have 6 screws mounts that on. And what this bracket is the control board snaps onto this bracket. You have 2 1/4-inch screws at the top that you screw in, and 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Right now, though, on the top of the dryer, I'm mounting the bracket for the computer board. That has 2 screws that mount to the front of the dryer and to the rear. Once you take the lid off, you'll see the computer board, and you just see these 2 screws that mount on. So before you put the lid on, you have to put that on. So I don't have that on the video. You can't see it, but now I'm mounting the 2 screws to the left and 2 screws to the right of the control panel. And this is where all the you know, you control the dryer with. And as you see, I'm in the rear. I'm working on that bracket for the control board. It's just 2 1/4-inch screws on the bracket, and it mounts. The front is a bracket that goes all the way from the front to the back, and the board is mounted onto that. Okay, now we're gonna put the door on. You slide it right underneath that bracket I just mounted. Screw it in with your electric screwdriver. Now it's kind of supported. It's right in the upper right hand corner. Now you're gonna do the upper left hand corner. Lift up the door and mount the door onto the actual dryer. So you got 2 up top, and you got to mount 2 at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna put the front control panel on. It just snaps on. Make sure you put the wire harness through here. Slide the wire harness through here. And kind of pull it out the back. Make sure it's through. Line it up. And there you have it. It's popped on. Now we're going to drive 3 screws into the lint catch and the body of the dryer. That's 1. These are Phillips head screws. And here's the second. And this one has a little plastic piece on it that goes on it. And that's a Phillips head screw also. And that'll be the third. Now I'm going to use 1/4-inch screws to put the bottom part of the door on. One goes here and one goes here. And we want to reconnect the moisture sensor and the start switch. Here's the start switch. And the moisture sensor is up top here. Kind of hanging down. Just got to grab it. There you go. Okay, for the bottom cover, we have 2 1/4-inch screws. The bottom cover just slides up. You slide the cover up onto the lower part of the door. And there's a 1/4-inch screw on the left and right front part on it. You just got to find it, line up the hole to be able to screw that screw in to mount it onto the dryer. Once you kind of got that in place, the other side is pretty easy. And you mount the right side also. Okay, we're gonna mount the control board bracket, and we're gonna install the wires onto the board. And screw. And right here in the front. Another 1/4" screw. And here's the harness that fires up the board. Goes into the front part of the panel there, just slides in. Slides right into the front harness. And all the other characters here. Okay, we have the relay. Relay goes there. The light blue connector. Tank goes there. We have a 2-prong with white wires with red stripe. That pops in there. And we got 2 red wires with white stripe and the orange going across. That pops in the front there. And then finally, last but not least, we have 1, 2, 3, or 4 connector with a green with yellow stripes, all white, all tan, and a black with white stripe. Going right near the relay here. It'd probably been a little easier if you'd have connected them before you put them on, before you mounted the bracket. So take that as a note. And put the hot wire harness back in. And there are all your connections, all done. Wire popped off, we had to put it back on. Okay, now we're finally gonna put the lid back on. Just lean the lid front forward first, lay it in, and just let it lay on the back, and it should fall in place. Align the holes on the rear of the dryer, and once you see the holes through the lid, just tighten it up. And those are 1/4 inch screws, and that's how you do it. Okay, I'll be doing many more how-to step-by-step videos on how to repair appliances. So hit the like button, comment, good or bad, subscribe to the station so you can see these videos. And if I am using a part to repair the appliance, a link will be in the description so you can buy from this channel. Have a good one.